Hello and welcome to my video. If you clicked on this, you most likely are interested in tech, perhaps becoming a software engineer, and you are approaching that from a non-traditional computer science background. This is the video for you. I'm not gonna give you any filler, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Now, my name is Yusuf Kaur, and I've been a software engineer for about 2 years, going on three. And I've worked only at one company, which you can find on my LinkedIn. So I will let you internet detectives find that. But I am not a computer scientist by degree, and I also have not taken any bootcamp based courses to learn what I know now. So all of my knowledge is from self taught. And I will be a little honest, self taught nowadays is a lot easier than I think what a lot of people might know. I actually used a lot of free resources when I was doing my own self teaching route, and they helped me propel myself into just getting this career, I would say, a lot faster. So I'll start with some of the resources I used if you're interested in that. The resources that I used that I felt helped me kind of get the basis of specific languages, maybe a full stack experience and understanding what it might be like to be a software engineer would be Free Code Camp. I mean, Free Code Camp is one of the most, I think it's the probably one of the most popular free resources out there, and it gives you pretty much hands-on instruction using like HTML, and I think they have some other ones as well. But it's very, very good for not only getting integrated with a basically self-taught developer community, but also being able to reach out to a whole network of people that have programmed before, who are in maybe specific roles and particular companies that you could reach out to. And it's a good way to get involved with a community and continue to be inspired by the people around you while building your network. The other one was Runestone Academy, and it's a very good online resource for teaching yourself, particularly using Python. And I think they have some new languages as well. But data structures and algorithms, they made it very easy and intuitive, especially harder concepts like recursion. I felt that Runestone Academy taught that particular concept very well. And then the last one was just Google. I know that's a little vague, but Google, you just go on there, you say, hey, I want to learn data structures, I want to learn algorithms, and there's just so much content. You can even go on YouTube and find just a bunch of content. I know Gail Locke McDowell, the person who created Cracking the Coding interview, also makes YouTube videos, and they're free content. Again, YouTube, Google, your best friends. Okay, so now that I've gotten some of the free resources out of the way, I'm going to talk about how I actually ended up, navigating this self-taught route without using a boot camp or a degree. So I have a degree, not in computer science, in biology, and I have not touched code pretty much at all throughout my entire college degree. It wasn't until I graduated that I actually got interested in computer science and that particular role. And the reason for that is after I graduated college, I kind of didn't like what I was doing. Research wasn't really for me, and yet it was all I had in terms of degree. And I felt like if this is going to be it, I don't want to go back to school and I don't want to spend money on another educational endeavor, be it a boot camp or even a 2 year degree. It just wasn't in my finances. So there wasn't many options that I personally considered when it came to career changing. So I went from biology to just directly CS, and all of that was just through self-teaching. So my transition kind of looked like this. After maybe a few months out of college, I really wasn't liking my biology based career. And I was like, I need to get out of this. So I started looking and using any resources I could to learn computer science. I would go to, we call them in in the research world, we call these people dry lab scientists who mainly do like Python or bioinformatics. And I just started asking them, like, can you teach me, can you show me anything? I remember talking to so many people and just networking like crazy to try to see if I can get my foot in any door possible to start my coding career, my software career in some way. And I definitely reached out and got some mentors. I definitely reached out and tried to see if I could get any certificates. I got one on being able to teach Python, and that was really cool. But really, nothing was falling for me. So there was a certain point in time where I realized that I just kind of I have to go all in. And I quit my job and I basically worked part time at Macy's. not a positive. I don't recommend doing that route in particular. Hindsight 2020, I wouldn't have quit my job in that way, but I was teaching myself Python like every day, like 3 to 4 hours per day. I would sit down with either Udemy, I did buy a subscription there, Runestone Academy, or Free Code Camp, and I would just hash out data structures, algorithms, stuff like that until I got it ingrained. And when I got it ingrained, then I switched to using a particular like textbook on Python and data structures and algorithms. I hashed it out again. And then after that, I did it once more with, cracking the coding interview and trying to basically nail down all of these different techniques so I can actually pass an actual technical interview. And that went on for about 5 months, and I felt good. I felt really good. I also did Leak Code at that time. I also recommend using that resource. I felt solid, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start applying to jobs. So a lot of my entry level jobs were tech ed based, so not full time SDE one positions, but mainly like tech ed. And I actually got rejected from those two. I maybe had like one fall for me, but I think the ones that I wanted, I got rejected from, and I was like, dang. But I didn't get disillusioned. I just kept putting my resume out there and kept trying. I remember going to a library after I failed one interview, and I was like, still gotta learn. And I think I hashed out like a binary tree, and I was like, you know what? At least I can do that. I felt good about it. Um, but yeah, I kept applying, and I would say if you're applying from a non-technical background, like a non boot camp or a not CS degree background, I recommend doing like a tech ed position or even maybe a non-traditional computer science or software developer role. Like almost every company has software developers. Like Kroger, QFC has software. QFC is a grocery store, but QFC has software developers, and you're more likely to get hired at these companies that are not completely tech based because they have more wiggle room for you being able to perhaps learn, grow, and I think those are options and opportunities that I was looking at when I was applying. But yeah, nothing was falling. And so I started to look more on the apprenticeship route, which I personally am a big fan of. So I got accepted into the LEAP program, which is the Microsoft apprenticeship for people pursuing computer science from a non-traditional technical background. And that for me was my first big break. After getting hired on, I was able to get my hands dirty on a real life project and actually see what it's like to be a software developer, and that changed my life. Like I not only did I end up getting hired on afterwards, but I knew it was for me. I loved what I did. I immediately was like, this is it. I love this stuff. It wasn't easy coming from a non-traditional technical background, and maybe I'll talk about that in a different route on what were the challenges of actually going through an apprenticeship. But getting accepted into that apprenticeship was the biggest break that I ever had. They look specifically for people who are coming from these diverse backgrounds, who might have a degree or have shown that they have technical aptitude somewhere else, but might not have that boot camp, might not have that degree. And they give you the option and the opportunity to have, say, your first big break. And I took it serious. Like I was working on the weekends. I was really, really trying to get my foot in the door and submit my spot as an SDE one, which I ended up becoming. And that's pretty much it. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. I had to do everything on my own. I had to network on my own. I had to teach myself on my own. I had to keep myself accountable on my own. But it was also immensely valuable. And I think also that self-driven energy that I feel like I've always had, it definitely shined when I was just running to the library at like 6 p.m. at night. I went to my local college library and I was like in there studying, and I felt so proud of myself for doing that. So yeah, that's kind of my route in. That's everything that I've learned, and I hope this video was useful for you. This is a one take, no edit. I know it was a lot of rambling, but I will probably make more educational based videos where I do some types of edits and whatnot. But if you like this and if you felt like this was valuable, yeah, like it, share it with other people, and I think that will be it for this one. Thank you for watching.